Hi guys, well it's Kay Comer in here with you finally after all this time. It's been, gosh, I think it was 3 weeks, this is Wednesday, so it was 3 weeks ago on Monday that my husband fell out of that tree and he had a pretty bad injury, so it's, we haven't been doing a whole lot of anything, just seeing that he got recuperated, and I haven't been working on books or doing anything. I've been trying to touch bases on the Junk Journal from Grandma with Love page as often as I could, but I'm trying to get back at it now. He's in the workshop for just a little while. He won't be out there very long because he can't do too much at a time, but anyway, things are looking up. So I wanted to show you today the first book that I ever made, and I don't even know where I got this idea because, gosh, this was years and years and years ago when I made this book, and I didn't even know about groups or anything then. I don't even think we had the internet then. I'm not sure. But I have always liked to do collages and stuff, and paint collages even, when we did craft shows for 20 years. And I've just always liked to foo-foo and scrapbook and do things like that. So I put this together, and I don't even know how many years ago I did. So this is it. This is not for sale. This is my own personal book, and it's a coffee table book. I have two on the coffee table. This is the first one I ever made, and then I kept my favorite one that I ever made, and it was the Kitchen Witch Journal, and I'll show you that maybe today or tomorrow. I just have to see how the day goes. But this is just a big circle, some old-timey, an image of some old-timey kids, gosh, from probably the 30s or 40s. Up here it says blessings every day, little blessings. This is just a heart, little sequins or something, I'm not even sure. This says there's no place more delightful than home, and a clock down here, heart, memories, buttons. Down the side, this had holes poked in it, and I just put the ribbon, and it's all messy because, gosh, this thing is so old, but the ribbon is even messy. I didn't try to foo-foo up anything for this video. Let's see if I can get the whole thing in here. I don't do very good with the video. I've got to get a tripod, but I don't know when I'll get shopping now. Okay, this page says, life's experiences can be better than any movie you've ever seen. And I love that quote because that is so true. Good old days, it says. Where has the time gone? Boy, is that the truth. Antiques and vintage. Then just a tiny doily up there with some buttons on it, a little memory button. This is that poem, We Had Riches, and I love this. I've put this in several books. It goes in the big grandma books. And I've used it just in many things. This says, they say the times were tough back then, that money was very tight, but I remember my childhood, and I know that can't be right. Mom would cook our dinner, and Dad would come home at 5, and we were sitting at the table waiting for him to arrive. Okay, I won't read the whole thing because it's really long, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what that was. This is just an old sticker up here, flower. Probably came off of a piece of lace, it looks like. I don't even remember. This says, home. Home, you are a special place. You're where I walk or wake and wash my face, where I brush my teeth and comb my hair and change my socks and my underwear, where I clean my ears and I blow my nose, try on all my parents' clothes. Home, you're where it's warm inside, where my tears are gently dried, and where I'm comforted and fed, and where I'm forced to go to bed, where there's always love to spare. Home, I am so glad you're there. I love that. It says heritage down here. I'll try to just give a quick, if I don't get a tripod, I'm in trouble, huh? Because this isn't working. And this is just some little sayings and quotes and poems and things that I've been using for years in my newsletters that I just put out throughout the community, and church newsletters and things. And it says, how to create happiness. The way to happiness is keep your heart free from hate and your mind from worry. Live simply, expect little, and give much, and fill your life with love. Scatter sunshine and forget self and think of others, and do as you would be done by. Now, try this for a week, and you will be surprised at what you find. And then it goes on to say, well, this is nothing new. We all know that. Yes, we know that, but we do it. That's the thing. If you do it, you will see a difference. This is a Mother Teresa quote, and I've used this so many times in newsletters and different things. It says, spread love everywhere you go. First of all, in your own home, give love to your children, your spouse, and to your next door neighbor. Let no one come to you without leaving better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness. Kindness in your face and in your eyes and in your smile and in your warm greeting. I absolutely love that. I just love that. This is Whoopsie Daisy. This is the Smile Virus. Smiling is infectious. You can catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. And I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. And when he smiled, I realized I had passed it on to him. Wow. I thought about that smile and then realized its worth. A single smile, just like mine, could travel around the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic quick and get the world infected. Isn't that a neat thing? Now, you know, I use that all the time, and I do have a lot of smiling poems and stuff, but I don't go around smiling all the time. I'm a person with a mind that never stops, and my mind is always a million miles away planning what I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes or the next hour or tomorrow or tonight or what I forgot to do this morning. And if you pass me in the store, you probably have to smack me to get my attention because my daughter is always saying when we go, we do 2 outings a year, her birthday and mine, and we just go junking, flea marketing and stuff like that. And she's always saying, Mom, you have got to pay more attention. You have to look everybody in the eye. They are not going to attack you or try to grab your purse if you're looking them in the eye. But I'm always a million miles away. There's always something to be thankful for. Remember that. Regardless of the question, the answer is love. You all know how I feel about the word love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Once upon a time, memories. There's another clock. I love clocks. Now, let me see if I can set this down. Let's see here. These are just some little tags that I put in there. And this was before I even put anything on the back. Look, I didn't even stain the back. Oh, heavenly day. Now, this has people on it, and I don't use people so much anymore. I do like to use little kids, the real vintage images. But to me, now this is just me. Whoops. To me, the older people in the pictures from like the 20s, 30s, and 40s, they just look sad. So the kids always look happy or mischievous. But you know, the older people, I just don't do that. I think if you don't, I mean, for me, I want the book to look, you know, to be kind of where it would fit anybody. You can look at it and you think, oh, wow, this is me. But if you see a picture of a woman in there in a big long dress and a big hat, you think, well, is it me or is it her? You know. So, I don't know. Let's see. What does this say? Cherish, joy, love. And what does that say? Oh, it's the definition for affection. Okay, there's some buttons down there and some lace. Dream. Hugs. Life. Some more buttons, some more lace. Okay, let's see what these are. This is Mother Goose. Mother Goose. And this says, our family is a work of heart. I love my family. Just adore my family. And that one says the very same thing. Good heavenly day. We'll see, but if this wasn't going anywhere but me, and I'm not a perfectionist, and I know it. So, our favorite place. Home. That's my favorite place. Home is my favorite place, and Monday is my favorite day of the week because then I know on Monday I don't have to go anywhere all week. Okay, this says Love and Time, and I've used this in the Grandma book, the big book that has so many readings and things in it. It says, once upon a time there was an island where all feelings lived, happiness, sadness, knowledge, and all the others, including love. And one day it was announced to the feelings that the island would sink and all constructed boats left except for love. And then it goes on to tell love was waiting on this and love was waiting on that. But, you know, love doesn't wait on anything. It comes out of nowhere and you grab it, and if it's real, and... Okay, this says Good Night Moon. It's a heart that I've just cut out of a quilt piece. And this says, love is always patient and kind. It's never jealous and never boastful. That says look. Fun. What does this say? May your home always be a place to refresh your soul. And this says a tribute to family, and I've used this in the Big Grandma book too. I love the bigger readings in the Big Grandma book, but I have a lot of other quotes and things in there too. Just that big grandma book is just full of stuff, including Grandma's diary for a full year, one day out of each month for the year of 1942, and that's really an interesting read. I just wrote that, but I wanted to put a diary in there, and I studied some old farm pages and some old Amish pages to just kind of get the feel of how they talked back in the 1930s and 40s, and their wordage and all that was even different, and so that's a very interesting read. This is a tribute to family. I don't know when it started or how it all began, but God created families as only our Lord can. He was teaching what it means to love, honor, and obey, and he wanted a strong bond, and we don't see too much today. And then it goes on and on. He wanted someone to hold us and show respect for others, and it goes on and on. That's just a great, great read. This is an old image. I don't know where I got that, but another clock. Love, 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 love clocks. Okay. Now this says, a moment in time. Do one thing every day that makes your soul happy. Time flies. Yes, it does. This is that Memories poem, and so many people have private messaged me to ask me where I got that. And this is out of my private stash, although I did not write it. And I don't know if it's on the internet anywhere or not. It's just out of my big box that I've collected for 50-something years, and I don't know how long I've had this. But it says, I'll just read a little bit of it, and I'm going to post it pretty soon when I can. And if anybody wants to copy it and paste it and cut it out or whatever, use it in your own thing or whatever. But it says, I'll always remember the good old days, and that's really putting it mild, but you can bet your boots I'll never forget things that happened when I was a child. When it was cold and stormy outside, the kitchen was the place to be, and the oven door on the old wood stove. We were cozy as we could be. A block of ice on the in the old ice box, the hand pump at the sink, doing homework by a kerosene lamp, and using pen with a bottle of ink. The clock on the mantel chiming the hour so we'd know the time of day. The brown and white dog on the old rag rug, just asleep in his life away. And it goes on and on. That is so long. I've got to get done here because I need to go up and work in my room today so I can kind of get organized and get going on some more. I can't believe I put that clock in there because I don't use clocks that don't have real numbers. So that's how old this book is. I wasn't thinking clearly. So that's what that is. This is The Good Old Days, and this is an old Dottie Rambo song, gospel music, real well-known gospel music singer that we knew from our childhood. She was a good friend of Mom and Daddy's, and she wrote this song. She wrote most of the songs that she sang, and it says, well, I like to talk about the good old days. It thrills me, I confess, walking to church down a country road, about 4 or 5 miles, I guess, when our folks got there early and they stayed there late, and all through the night they prayed while the little ones slept in the old church pews. Those were the good old days. And come Sunday morning in the old log cabin, you could hear the patter of little feet just heading for the kitchen because Mama was calling, kids, get ready to eat. Then Pa would pray and bless the food, and then he'd turn around and say, better eat all you want so you won't get hungry, because meeting might last all day. Well, the times have changed and years have passed, and that old church house is gone. There's special, precious memories of that sacred spot that I share with just the Lord alone. Oh, and if I could live but 100 years, there's a place that time can't erase, and the God that kept me in the good old days is going to keep me till the judgment day. And then it goes on with the course of that. Well, the good old days have passed away, and I couldn't call them back if I tried, but the Lord that lived in the good old days is walking right along by my side. I absolutely love that song. I always loved to hear her sing it. There's just an old cabin down here, an old key, a button, 2 clocks. And I think that's it on this one. Yes, it is. And it's a wrap. It says, a house is made of boards and beams, and a home is made of love and dreams. Just an old quilt piece that I've cut a heart out of. A little boy on a... this down here, I put this on the bottom of all of my newsletters that I put out for church and for the community, and it's just a little girl with curly hair, and my daughter either found it somewhere or maybe she drew it. She's an artist out of this world, but I don't know if she drew this. I just don't know. And then it says, you are loved. So I put that on the bottom of almost everything that I make, and I started out putting it on the bottom of my books, but I think I got away from it. I just get so busy I forget. So that's it. This is the first book that I've ever made, and I just wanted to give you a peek at it. I love doing the books. It's hard for me to find the time. I don't know how people have the time. There's one woman that I follow, one of the artists that I follow, and oh my gosh, I love her work, but she puts out like 20 of these little books a week. I mean a month. But oh my goodness, there's no way I could do that. I mean, it's almost 11 o'clock now, maybe after, and I've been working around the house all day, working in the plants and watering and doing this and that around the house, and I'm just now getting ready to go up and work on my workroom, and so I can get going on the junk journals. I've got one started that I'm going to give as a gift to a very special person, and I'm working on that on the side as I'm doing other things, and then I'm working on Sharon's order. So I've got both of those started, and I hope to have Sharon's done in a very few days if I can get myself in gear. It'll just depend on how much time Geezer spends out in the workshop because he keeps me hopping in here because he can't get up and down like he could do before, and he's spending a little bit more time in as a recliner now than he's used to, and that's a little bit hard on him. So okay, that's it for today. I may try to do the other video, the Kitchen Witch book, yet today. I don't know. I just have to see. I've got to get this uploaded first and then see where I go from there. I hope you all have a super duper grand and groovy day. Go out and spread a little kindness and get a little kindness everywhere you go. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. And I love you all.